Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very wonderful day and a very blessed day and an evening, a very good one indeed, guys. Very sorry for exactly shooting this late. I was exactly walking universe in the middle of this weather of raining, and I was also exactly doing the washing line. I was also exactly doing the washing, which is exactly my chores on a Friday, as you guys purposely exactly know. But despite that, guys, I'm exactly here and I'm fully here on I won't be able to exactly upload the whole video for those of you who will be watching the whole video, but I'll be able to upload the shorts for those of you who exactly are watching shorts for today. So you'll see this video, the whole video of it, you'll receive it on Monday because I'm having a bit of a problem uploading it on a Friday. So you'll receive it on Monday. But despite that, guys, I'm very grateful for your support in watching and viewing my episodes. It gratefully, truly means a lot to me. So grateful to you guys, and God bless you all. On today's episode, we're to speak about Lord Jet, who is the new Lord of Magic, the one I've been talking about, and who's the new Lord of Magic and a leader and a founder and a leader of his secret society of supervillains known as the Order of Power, with the goal to wipe out and exterminate the supernaturals, aliens, superhumans, the universal heroes, the united heroes, and humanity and the four nation hunters and the sacred tribes and clans of the supernatural and alien and superhumans as well, so he can recreate the sacred universe and the sacred world in his own image by making sure that his magical race and his species remains the sole dominant race of the sacred universe and of the sacred world as well, by any means necessary, and also in the process to further his own goals and his plans for soul control and for soul domination over the known universe and over the rest of sacred existence. Let's exactly begin. In Jet's earlier life, Jet exactly witnessed the destruction of his home world, the destruction of his home world's villages and great cities of magic being destroyed and being wiped out by the monsters of the dark dimension, who exactly became nothing but a scourge and a menace throughout the sacred universe and throughout the magical world. And Jet exactly when he was younger, he witnessed it all himself, and he saw his parents exactly being killed and being murdered by the monsters of the dark dimension. To this exactly happen, Jet exactly took an axe in order to try and fighting against the monsters. But after all, he was taken by a powerful dark druid known as Shang, who is after all the right hand man of the original Lord of Magic. To this point, Shang exactly took Jet to meet up with the original Lord of Magic at the central headquarters of the Shadow Empire, where he presented Jet and Ice Wall and Zuko and Nightman to the Lord of Magic, stating to the original Lord of Magic that these proteges could become his successful proteges rather than his own son, known as Mandax. The original Lord of Magic was so pleased that he has found successful proteges who will complete and fulfill his legacy and his wishes, to making sure that his legacy lives on, and that he was very quietly proud and founded that Jet will become the new Lord of Magic in the far future of the Sacred Galactic War, and that he will exactly complete the legacy and goals of the original Lord of Magic. In case he ever dies, he'll be the ultimate failsafe and the ultimate weapon used to make sure that the Lord of Magic's goals and dreams remain intact, and they continue to remain, and they continue to remain to go on forever and also for always as well. The original Lord of Magic was quietly enlightened and very pleased to meet Jet, Icewall, Zuko, and Nightman. He told Shang that these proteges will be the excellent and greatest proteges in the greatest succession in achieving his goals and his ultimate plans and his dreams, in a process to exterminating and wiping out the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans and the four nation hunters and the sacred nations and the sacred clans and the sacred tribes of the supernatural race and of the magical race and of the aliens and of the superhumans as well, in a process. To this end, the original Lord of Magic exactly decided in order to send Jet to be raised by the most powerful dark witch known as Darkeron, who is a founder and a leader of her own ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the Seven, with the goal to ending wars and conflicts and to ending the sacred galactic wars and conflicts in the process. Jet was quietly completely raised by the dark witch in her dark dimension, over the following years, and continue to remain so. He grew up at the age of 29, where he became a full matured adult, and he realizes that he has to continue his own adventure and his own mission. To this end, he left Nightman and he left Zuko alone in a dark dimension and opened up a portal with his dark magic abilities, and told Darkron that he's very grateful that he completely raised her and guided him and literally raised him to his greatest potential. And Darkron was very completely proud and very successfully happy that Jet has finally rose to the occasion. Over the following centuries, Jet met up with a subordinate of the original Lord of Magic known as Black Man. Together, they fought against an ancient creature known as the Ice Creature. Together, they defeated the Ice Creature from conquering golden worlds and golden planets throughout the golden temples, and together, the both of them will forever be known as the Order of Power and the Order of Secrets, which they formed the ancient secret societies in ancient times by fighting against the Ice Creature. Remember the Ice Creature that I previously told you about on a previous video? They exactly fought up against the Ice Creature and ever defeated it and destroyed it and decimated before it had the power and the ability to conquering and consuming the golden worlds and the golden temples by placing its sole control over those worlds. Jet and Black Man formed the ancient secret societies they formed the ancient secret society, and the ancient secret society will become known as the Order of Power and the Order of Secrets. Black Man, who is the founder and leader of the Order of Secrets, and Jet, who is the founder and leader of the Order of Power. Together, the ancient secret society began creating followers and also powerful associates, also attracting very formidable associates. Over the centuries, Jet has journeyed and traveled throughout the ends of the fringes of the sacred universe and of the sacred universe and of the sacred world for many centuries to come. He journeyed until he exactly found an ancient temple of his own and decided to recreate it on his own. To this point, he encountered a very powerful ancient group of dark witches known as the Dark Sisters, who, by the way, are also followers of the original Lord of Magic. Together with Jet exactly decided to extend the invitation to the Dark Sisters in order for them to becoming the next founding members of his ancient secret society, of his ancient group that has existed for many centuries, and the Dark Sisters completely accepted Jet's invitation to becoming the next founding members of the Order of Power. To do so, the Dark Sisters and Jet completed the Dark Temple and the rest of his bases, and the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches also assisted. To this point, Jet began adapting and evolving and began increasingly becoming to change and highly evolved. His wings, his golden ancient wings, began to emerge, as well as his powers, as well as his dark magic began to evolve and adapt, and everything else began to become clear. Jet even possesses the ancient dark trident known as the Trident of Power itself, his own ancient weapon. He used the Trident of Power in order to finish the great dark sacred war, which he exactly used to wipe out and decimate the monsters of the dark dimension before they completely laid waste to the Ice Clan. After that, it was within exactly the 30th century, where Jet exactly used the Trident of Power to decimate the monsters of the dark dimension from trying to annihilate and lay waste to the Ice Clan. To this point, in the 30th century, Jet exactly realized that the Trident's power is too powerful and too devastating and too very great. He decided in order to exactly relinquish the Trident and exactly decided to banish it somewhere else and hide it and kept it very somewhere safe. To this point, he gave it to the descendants of the Crystal. He gave it to the descendants of the Crystal people to keep the Trident's power to be preserved and also to be very well hidden in an unknown pocket dimension. The Crystal people agreed that they'll hide the Trident and keep it safe and bury its power so that its forbidden dark power and knowledge will not pose a threat any longer than anyone else. And to this point, Jet happily agreed with them. After the many years, Jet remained in his hidden dark dimension, of his hidden dark temple, and remained and meditating, and his power grew, and his dark magic powers and his abilities continued to grow. He continued exactly extending invitations to other certain and powerful, to other certain and powerful ancient criminals such as Warlord Power, the Dark Brother, the Mind Sister, the Sinister Sisters, the Lightning Sisters, and also the Dark Half Brother, and also the Dark Half Brother as well, in order for them to join his ancient groups of supervillains so they can exactly combine their resources and their ultimate goals and pleasures. They can exactly combine their resources in order to help Lord Jet achieve his ultimate goal for soul domination and for soul conquest as well, and for soul control over the sacred universe and over the sacred galactic war as well, in the process of the extermination. Jet remained within the Dark Temple for many years and for many centuries. His powers continue to grow. His dark magic powers and his abilities continue to grow and continue to adapt in a very, very dark and very scary way. His transformation was so fully completed, is in he highly evolved and became more powerful, very skilled in all the dark magical elements: fire, water, earth, metal, and power, and dark magic powers, and teleportation and telekinesis and telepathic and mind controlling, and also the power of opening portals, and also the power of controlling and manipulating all the forces of nature at will. He even possesses a psychic telepathic power link and a bond that makes him more greater and more highly powerful, and highly greater and more highly powerful. To this end, Jet exactly founded the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, and they all agreed to supply him with more destructive and powerful technology and everything else. And to this point, they also successfully agreed to pledge their allegiance and their loyalty to Lord Jet, and they'll exactly continue to becoming his soldiers, and also to be part of his forbidden army and empire. To this point, Jet recruited a powerful group of mechanists and a powerful group of engineers to build him highly advanced battle cruisers and battleships, and also highly advanced, equipped, and very much compatible airships, a fleet of airships, and a fleet of war balloons as well. They all exactly agreed to do that. And Jet also founded the mysterious ancient temples and the archetypal temples, and the Dark Sisters and the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches recreated the temple and remodified it in its own dark way by bringing up dark crystals and blue crystals and blue emeralds and blue ancient emeralds within the temple to make sure that the temple's ancient power and energy would be preserved and that it would remain the exact same way. To this point, they all meditated within another ancient and powerful temple, and exactly concentrating their powers and their psychic abilities and their greater dark magic all together as one. And Lord Jet was in the middle. On the first of February, when news of the original death of the original Lord of Magic spread like wildfire across the universe, and across the rest of sacred existence, created a power vacuum within the Shadow Empire itself, forcing every other Shadow Empire warlord and commander to secretly forming alliances with ancient groups of supervillains such as the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Order of the Seven, the Founders, the Unholy Alliance, the Sacred Circle, Sacred Five, and also Sacred Five as well, in return to supply them with destructive and highly compatible technology. In return, these ancient secret societies of supervillains, will supply them with more worlds and with more planets at this point. When news exactly spread, Jet was so devastated, as in very devastated, that the original and the most powerful immortal Lord of Magic is dead and killed by the prophesized child known as the New Universal Man and the New Universal Heroes. Jet's protege, known as Lord Clay and Lord Bradley and Lord Cole, and the other Dark Sisters and the other Dark Sister Witches of the Dark Sisters, exactly were called to be summoned by the temple, by the ancient temple, and where Jet exactly explained to them that he is now the new Lord of Magic and that they are the proteges of his mission and his goals, and that it's their job and destiny to fulfill the original Lord of Magic's goals and mission by any means necessary to make sure that his dream and legacy lives on and by so and on. Clay exactly wanted to prove himself to Lord Jet of the New Lord of Magic, stated that he would make the greatest protege ever and that he would become the greatest and most powerful Lord of Magic ever existed. And Jet exactly told Clay he's willing to exactly see himself, prove himself worthy by any means necessary, as well to the other proteges as well. On the 10th of February, Lord Jet was quietly present in a video conference, in a video audience conference, when one of the Dark Druids exactly told Lord Jet that the Universal Heroes are currently at war with the Shadow Empire warlords and are currently at war with the forces of Dark Masters, which created a huge explosive, which created a huge powerful explosive on the other worlds and on the other planets, which in other words remarked their disappearance. Lord Jet exactly stated to the Dark Druid that everything else is going according to plan and according to schedule, the way it's exactly meant to be by any means necessary. On the 12th of February, one Shadow Empire warlord exactly attended a video conference of the members of the Order of Power, where he told the members of the Order of Power that the operation has become interrupted due to the interference of the Intergalactic Coalition and also of the Universal Founders who brightly interfered on the operation as well as their plans. The Dark Sister exactly told the Shadow Empire warlord that they have new, highly equipped destructive technology and highly powerful combatable technology which will help them modify and build their battle cruisers and their highly advanced fleet of warships and battleships and battle cruisers and airship fleet, and a number of airship fleets will be under their sole control, which they'll be able to use to decimate and specifically exactly wipe out the enemy's forces and taking them down, all of them completely. And the Shadow Empire warlord was completely reluctantly very pleased of that and very gratefully exactly happy with that and enlightened with that development as well. On the 29th of February, the members of the Order of Power exactly spoke among themselves on a video conference as Lord Jet exactly told the members of the Order of Power that they need to form their own new Shadow Empire, the one of the greatest and most formidable Shadow Empires against the original Shadow Empire. Soon will exactly fall under the sole control of another supervillain who will use the Shadow Empire's resources to wage war with the Star Empire. And the Dark Sister completely agreed with Jet as well on that point. On the 9th of March, Lord Jet exactly left his organization. Lord Jet left exactly his organization and the rest of his new empire under the sole control of Lord Clay, who has become his successful protege, and told Lord Clay that everything has to go according to plan and everything else must be according to schedule, the way it's intended to be, without any other further interruptions or further plans or any other further dispute. Everything must be going according to plan and according to schedule, the way it's needed to be. And Lord Clay exactly shook hands with Lord Jet, stated to him that he would not exactly disappoint him or successfully fail him as well. On the 15th of March, Lord Jet met up with Zuko, his long lost companion, and also the next protege of the original Lord of Magic. And together, Zuko told Jet about his goals and plans to restoring order and justice to the sacred world and to the sacred universe. Together, Zuko exactly stated that his secret society is more powerful and more ancient and is also called the Order of Justice, with the goal to restore justice and order to the sacred world and to the sacred universe by any means necessary. Lord Jet exactly told Zuko that they need to combine their resources and they need to secretly exactly work together to becoming the most formidable allies and groups against their top competitor, the Order of the 12, led by the Universal Prince, and the Founders, and the Order of the 5, and the Order of the 6, and the Order of the 7, and the Court of Nature, and the Unholy Alliance, and the Sacred Circle, and the Outer Circle, and as well as the Star Empire and the Dark Order as well, against those powerful, formidable villains and foes as well. Zuko quietly agreed that they'll exactly combine their resources and their expertise together with his high-ranking members, with his high-ranking associates also by his side. They'll exactly invest their resources to him in order for them to further their ultimate goals and also their plans. To this point, Lord Jet shook hands with Zuko as he told Zuko that he will be going on a dark ancestral journey. His operation and his organization is left under the care by his protege known as Lord Clay. He will take part of it from here as well. On the 19th of March, Lord Jet was completely very pleased as the members of the Order of Power watched the footage of the Shadow Empire warlords going into war against the Intergalactic Coalition, and he stated among himself that now the Order of Power will officially reveal itself to the Sacred World and to the rest of sacred existence, and that the Order of Power has formed its new powerful secret society and as well as its new powerful greatest empire, the new Shadow Empire within the shadows of the original Shadow Empire, which will be far most invincible and far most untouchable and far most greater than anything else ever existed. And the members of the Order of Power appeared foursome on the sides of Lord Jet, and also the other members of Power appeared on the other side foursome on the other side of Lord Jet, and stated to them that the Order of Power will complete its goal and also its mission, and that the new Shadow Empire will exactly help them to operate within the shadows of the sacred galactic war and of the shadows of the sacred world as well. To this point, he left the entire organization and the rest of the secret society and the rest of the ancient secret society and the new found Shadow Empire under the control and jurisdiction of his proteges, and so did the members of the Order of Power as well. For the following years, Jet has remained in a dark ancestral dark dimension, activating his true transformation, adapting and evolving, and continued to exactly to do so for many, many years until one dark druid completely exactly reported to him on the 1st of August, telling him that Clay exactly made a huge mistake with the operation. He jeopardized the plans, and he jeopardized completely every one of the plans, meaning that it was a big mistake in leaving Clay under control of the Empire and of the new secret society as well. And Jet was not successfully very pleased with that, or rather very unquietly happy with that. He decided to exactly return, and so did the rest of the members of the Order of Power as well. On the 10th of August, Jet exactly returned to the throne room of his newfound Shadow Empire, exactly where he told Clay that he's hereby demoted, and the rest of the other proteges are fully demoted from their position. That Clay and Cole and Bradley and the rest of the proteges are fully demoted, and the rest of the other Dark Sisters who completely among Clay were also demoted from their position. And the Dark Sisters and Warlord Power and the Dark Half Brother and also the Dark Brother and the Mind Sisters were not successfully very happy with this at all, as they decided to take matters into their own hands successfully. Clay completely exactly appointed his new protege known as Lord Mac, or rather Mac, in order to take charge of the operation and also the organization's goals and plans as well, to making sure that everything else is quietly in place. This created a rift, as in like the actual rift among Clay and the new Lord of Magic known as Lord Jet. It created a huge rift between them, a rift that has quietly created a faction, that has quietly created a ripple fraction among the other dark witches and dark druids and dark sisters, and also the other proteges as well. Some of the others decided to join Clay's side in his organization, while the others decided to remain by Lord Jet's side in order for them to exactly help Jet complete his ultimate goal and his ultimate plans as well. On the 10th of September, Lord Jet, known as a new Lord of Magic, one Dark Sister, one Mind Sister, and Warlord Power, and also Dark Brother and Dark Half Brother emerged from their cryogenic freeze pod and began activating a crystal that possesses that possesses the power and ability to create catastrophic destruction among the sacred worlds, planets, and other known universe, which was the only way to wipe them out and exterminate them. They began activating the crystal's power, which activated a huge frequency of a sonic, which activated a huge frequency of a sonic, which activated a huge frequency of a sonic repulsion that activated all the supernatural volcanoes and known planets throughout the sacred worlds and other planets. The universal heroes and the rest of the United Heroes and the rest of the Intergalactic Coalition's forces were spread too thin as they decided in order to specifically deal with the situation and locate the point of origin of the source. Universal Man and the rest of the Universal Heroes, Fort J and the rest, Fort Lord Jet and the rest of his associates, decided to exactly teleport themselves and completely vanish. Warlord Power completely exactly decided to fight against the Universal Heroes, and he completely exactly disappeared. Lord Jet decided to disappear as well and teleport himself, and he told the Universal Heroes that underestimating their abilities will not exactly happen again, that the Order of Power will not take their abilities or underestimating them ever again, and that it will never ever happen again. To this point, he exactly flew and used in light up and used the light of his golden wings to create a huge bright light for him to exactly disappear and teleport himself away, and the rest of his associates completely disappeared, and the successful plans to wipe out the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans was quietly thwarted. The tragical catastrophic event was quietly stopped and prevented at all cost as well. On the 9th of November, Lord Jet successfully exactly convened with the members of the Order of Power, and told them that Mac has the situation under control and that he will fully exactly adapt to, he will fully exactly rise to the occasion, and he will exactly begin to exactly rise to the occasion, and that the operations are left to him and his other proteges and to the rest of the Dark Sister. The Dark Sister was quietly reassured by Lord Jet, who is a new Lord of Magic, and making sure that everything else needs to go according to plan, the way it's intended to be, by any means necessary. On the 10th of November, the members of the Order of Power reconvened at the ancient Dark Crystal Temple, as Dark Brother exactly stated to Lord Jet that the newfound Shadow Empire has highly been evolved and highly been adapting and creating. They have a huge fleet of battle cruisers and battleships, and huge fleet of war balloons, and a huge fleet of airships and at their disposal, which are ready to conquer more worlds and more planets, and are ready to exactly lay waste to thousands of civilizations and controls of tribes and clans. Lord Jet exactly told the members of the Order of Power that everything else needs to go according to schedule, especially with the Universal Prince willing to ascend and rise for the Universal Throne, and the members of the Order of Power need to do whatever it takes, and the members of the Order of the Twelve will need to do whatever it takes to put the Universal Prince in charge of the sacred universe as well, and that cannot happen as well. And with the Star Universe and the original Shadow Empire willing to wage war against each other, that's under the current leadership of Red Bolt, the founder and leader of the Dark Order, who are willing to exactly wage war for sole control of over the known universe and over the sacred universe. Jet exactly told the members of the Order of Power that they have to plan this operation with successful greater strategy and greater tactician. It doesn't need to involve an unstrategic mountable effect, and Deathblade exactly appeared and reassured the members of the Order of Power that the situation is under control as well. On the 15th of November, Black Mask exactly met up with the members of the Order of Power and exactly told them that the Shadow Empire warlords and all their factions have agreed to supply the new Shadow Empire with an army of destructive and compatible battle cruisers and warships and everything else under their control. They have agreed to serve the new Lord of Magic and also his forces, and the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful have agreed to serve the new Dark Sisters and the Mind Sisters, and also the Lightning Sisters as their new leaders as well. And Warlord Power was completely very pleased and very happy that now they can fulfill and further their own plans and their own goal. And so was Lord Jet as well. On the 29th of November, within the ancient temple island, Lord Jet exactly met up with his new successful protege known as Mac. Mac exactly told him that everything else is quietly going in schedule the way it's supposed to be, and everything else is quietly in place. And also Mac told Lord Jet that they can successfully exactly use the universal Earth heroes and the world heroes and the universal heroes as pawns in order to crippling the Star Empire and the Shadow Empire down, and also taking down the founders and the Dark King and Dark Grey and the Order of the Five, and also as well as the Order of the Six and the Code of Nature, and by crippling the operation as well as the successful plans if they're willing to become the sole rulers of the cosmos. Lord Jet exactly told Mike that the operation and the plan is successfully going according to plan, the way it's intended to be, and that the extermination of the supernaturals and of the aliens and of the superhumans will exactly take place one way or another. Despite that, Lord Jet exactly told Mech to keep an eye on the vampire race that is quietly founded and led by the Vampire King, who's quietly still remaining at large and who poses a greater threat to the operation and as well to their plans as well. He must be exactly to be kept watch, and Mac successfully agreed as well. On the 14th of December, Lord Jet exactly created a video conference with the members of the Order Power and praised Mac with his great sufficiency and great work, stated to him that they made the right decision by making him the new protege and the new successor of his organization and as well of his new empire as well, stated to him that he's officially the new protege of Lord Jet as well, and of the new Lord Jet of the new Nova Magic, and Mac was successfully pleased and very, very happy as well. On the 20th of December, Lord Jet was completely exactly meditating within the sacred chambers after for a while, until one Dark Sister and one Mind Sister exactly appeared, telling Lord Jet that they should never underestimate Clay and the rest of his forces and the rest of his associates and the rest of his forces and his associates as well, that they're too powerful and they're too ruthless and cruel and they're very smart and intelligent. Lord Jet exactly reassured the Dark Sisters and the Mind Sisters and the Lightning Sisters that they will not exactly underestimate his former proteges or the former Dark Sisters who were once their proteges after all again, and that they can exactly use them to their advantage in order to take control of the Sacred Galactic War, in order to wipe out the supernatural race and the alien race and the superhuman race in the process as well. And they completely exactly relished and smiled as well. On the 9th of January, Lord Jet successfully exactly met up with the warlords and commanders on the sacred chambers of the geographical map of the sacred world and of the known worlds and of the known worlds and of the known universe and the sacred universe, and told them that the plan is quietly in place and that everything else is quietly in place and is scheduled the way it's supposed to be. The warlords and commanders and generals exactly agreed that they have a successful strategic way in order to conquer worlds and planets and everything else, to staging simultaneous raids on many worlds and planets in order to divide the Intergalactic Coalition's resources and the universe amongst the heroes. Lord Jet completely exactly reassured the warlords and the warlocks and the commanders and the generals that everything else is in place the way it's intended to be, and that their plan will finally take place, and that the extermination and becoming the sole rulers of the cosmos will become a dream come true, and recreating the sacred world and the sacred universe in their image will exactly come true if they can play their cards right at the exact right precise time. On the 15th of January, Lord Jet exactly met up with the Dark Sisters in a sacred chamber and with the rest of the members of the Order of Power within his central headquarters of his empire, within his new central headquarters of his new Shadow Empire, and exactly told them that everything else is quietly in place and being implemented. And at the throne room, Warlord Power exactly told Jet never to underestimate Universal Man and the Universal Heroes. And Lord Jet exactly told Warlord Power that the Universal Heroes can be used as pawns and as weapons, and that's to our advantage against Lord Clay and the rest of the proteges and against the rest of the competitors as well. And the members of the Order of Power were reassured as the Dark Brother exactly told Lord Jet that the plan and the schedule may now proceed accordingly, and that the new Shadow Empire may exactly rise from the shadows to begin its final global conquest over the sacred universe and everything else. And even exactly reassured Lord Jet and the members of the Order of Power that they have all the crystal technology and everything else they need, and all the destructive technology has been supplied to their agents and to their forces and to their operatives, and that it's ready to proceed on, and that the new proteges are highly trained, are highly equipped, ready to take over the day when they no longer exactly around. And Jet was successfully proud and very enlightened that now the plan can begin and proceed according to plan as well. Despite this, guys, Lord Jet, the new Lord of Magic, is very immortal and very powerful, very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, hand-to-hand combat, and also tactician, and also strategist, very skilled in teleportation, in opening portals. He has the ability of flight, and ability of telekinesis, and the ability of reading minds, and the ability of reading minds, and the ability of mind controlling, and the ability of scarring and possession. He has the ability of opening up, and summoning the dead, and literally possessing the body and summoning the dead, and the ability of interrogation, which he can interrogate his captive foes and his enemies at will, and he can psychically read their minds, and his ability of psychic control and the ability of mind control. He's very skilled in the dark arts and in dark magic, and very skilled in swordsmanship, in hand-to-hand combat. He wields an ancient and powerful dark trident known as a Trident of Power, which was exactly in his former possession many centuries ago, but now he quietly kept it hidden and very quietly decided to hide it and kept it quietly very hidden. Now he's quietly unaware that Mike, who is a very powerful evil Phoenician hunter, is quietly searching for it now in order for him to seize power and control over the sacred wall. But despite this, Jet is a very powerful tactician and a very immortal new Lord of Magic, and a very greater protege than the other proteges. Very skilled in deception and in manipulation, and very ruthless and cruel and very cunning. He plans his plans, and he exactly plans them with great strategy. He has a huge fleet of battle cruisers and battleships, and a fleet of warships, and a fleet of warships, and a fleet of warships, and a fleet of airships, and a fleet of war balloons at his disposal, ready to conquer worlds and planets and known civilization. He has conquered thousands and millions of worlds over the following centuries and over the following years, and he's managed to lay waste in all of them in a matter of one fell swoop. He's very smart and very intelligent, forming a secretive alliances with other powerful and ancient criminals, such as the Dark Sisters, Dark Brother, Half Dark Brother, Warlord Power, the Mind Sisters, the Electricity Sisters, the Sinister Sisters, and the Lightning Sisters, who have become the official members of the Order of Power, an ancient secret society with the goal to fulfill the original Lord of Magic's goals to wipe out and exterminate the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans and the Phoenician hunters and the rest of the sacred nations in the process. Lord Jet, the new Lord of Magic, is very ruthless, cruel in nature, smart and intelligent. He cares so much about his proteges, despite the rift created between him and Clay. Despite the rift created between him and Clay, that are not exactly able to get along now, he still very much cares for Clay and the other rest of the Dark Sisters, because they are still his proteges, and he's not willing to exactly kill them or to specifically wipe them out. He even exactly still controls the Wild Archers, a group of ancient assassins and supervillains who exactly work on the behalf of the Order of Power, and also working on the behalf of the Order of Power and the behalf of Lord Jet, the new Lord of Magic, and also Lord Jet's newfound empire, known as the Shadow Empire as well. He's very skilled in teleportation, in dark magic, and also in portaling, and also reading minds and possessioning, and also in summoning. He has the ability of summoning and the ability of reading minds, and the ability of conjuring dark magic portals and circles and scouring energy, the ability of controlling energy, and the ability of destroying and decimating worlds and planets at will, and the ability of controlling crystals with mind controlling, the ability of controlling crystals and also crystal technology at will. He's very skilled in the dark arts, as in very skilled in the dark arts. He's more powerful and more immortal. He's a living dark angel creature that has existed for many centuries and for many years. He's very immortal and very powerful and very ruthless and cruel and very smart and very intelligent being that has existed for many centuries and for many years. Extremely immortal, as in very immortal. Skilled in dark magic, very skilled in dark magic and in the dark arts. The dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful work for him now, and they're at his services, and they also work on the behalf of the Dark Sisters and of the Mind Sisters and of the Lightning Sisters and of the Lightning Sisters and the Sinister Sisters as well, who have become the high-ranking members of the Order of the 12, of the Order of Power, as well, with the goal to exterminate, wipe out the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans and the universal heroes and the Phoenician hunters and the sacred nations of the sacred world in the process to further their own plans and their own goal. His ultimate goal will exactly bear fruit, and Lord Jet is willing to make sure that his ultimate goal will exactly get to bear fruit. He's very, very intelligent. He maintains his usual bases of operation, such as his ancient crystallic temples and as well as his central headquarters, which is a huge, huge island, which is a huge volcanic island that bears his whole new Shadow Empire, and an army of battle cruisers and warships, and an army of battle cruisers and airship fleets and war balloons at his disposal, and an army of battleships at his disposal in order for him to exactly hide a huge armada at his disposal. And the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders and warlords and commanders decided to become the new members of his newfound empire in order to overthrow the original Shadow Empire that was quietly led by the original Lord of Magic, that's currently led by the leadership of Red Bolt, who's a founder and leader of the Dark Order. And Lord Jet is willing to do whatever it takes to remove the original Shadow Empire from power, to making sure that his succession rises into power by any means necessary. He maintains his central headquarters, which is a huge base of operations, such as his temple, where he can exactly convene and meet and discuss with the members of the Order of Power for them to exactly work all together as one to discuss the operation as well their plans. And he utilizes their resources for his ultimate goals and for his ultimate plans as well. He's very intelligent, very powerful, ruthless, cruel, and very smart and very intelligent as well. Not meant to be underestimated. According to the Universal Heroes, Lord Jet, the new Lord of Magic, is very powerful and very intelligent and very immortal. Not meant to be underestimated. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I all hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll exactly see you on Monday as well. So enjoy your weekend. Have a blessed weekend. You'll only receive the whole episode on Monday, but enjoy your weekend and have a blessed, beautiful weekend and a very blessed day, and have a great, great day indeed. Guys, the weather is so unpredictable. It rains and it also comes out with the sun. So yeah, that's exactly that. Anyway, enjoy your weekend and your blessed day. Take care. God bless you all. Bye. Bye.